the Civil Aviation Safety Authority has been investigating Pauline Hanson for her use of a drone. And yeah, so I think there was an investigation or potential investigation on Pauline, and there was also a fine issued by CASA to an individual who was a guest at, I think,
the Channel 9
wedding of the year. Yeah, so one of their wedding guests used a recreational drone, took footage of the wedding, beautiful, put it up on Instagram, and CASA saw it and fined the guy $900.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, Pauline's also been embroiled into it as well.
So is it just recreational use of drones? Like, do people... Because there is licensed drone operators.
It's any unlicensed use.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
And, like, this affects me quite significantly because I'm in the video and film industry, and drones are a tremendously useful tool. But people with licenses can charge an absolute fortune.
Yeah.
So if I've got a client who wants to have an aerial shot of their little factory, but the clearances aren't large enough for me to be able to fly a drone there, I have to pay like $2,500 to show up and get one shot. It's prohibitive.
Yeah.
And it's actually not a safety issue in many contexts where it is still technically against the regulations. The clearances are very, very large. The distances between you and the public to be able to fly it unlicensed are incredibly large.
Yep.
Rather than punishing everybody before anything's gone wrong, no one got hurt when that chap
Exactly.
got his footage at the
Did a
wedding.
sweep over of the guest party, everyone loved it, gorgeous footage, and no one was hurt by it. And whether or not there was disclosure or not, that people were happy to have the drone within 30 metres of you, you know. I think the issue that I take with it, and definitely looking into like commercial use of drones and things, is like the registration, the licensing that CASA gets from people, the actual listing of you to use it for commercial uses, and then also the restrictions that they in place on it, I think is just, you know, it's just a monetizing thing for individuals to,
It's the taxi industry all over again, where the government said you're not allowed to do this simple thing that lots of people can safely do without a government-approved license. But unless you pay us lots of money and tick a whole lot of boxes, you're not allowed to do that. We're going to stop you from doing that.
Yeah.
And then, of course, prices go up, convenience goes down. Everyone is impacted to some degree or another. And eventually Uber comes along and breaks that deadlock on the taxi industry. And thankfully, we're finally climbing our way out from under that rock. But here's another example of exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
Unnecessary regulation, unnecessary licensing. You're not allowed to do something that you as a grown adult can do perfectly safely.
Yeah.
I think that drones are going to be really, really big within the next 10 years. I mean, there was Pauline Hanson playing on a drone. Oh, heaven forbid.
Yeah.
It was a chief of staffs, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, he loves flying things. Then the second one was last year, the guy who flew his drone down to Bunnings to buy a sausage.
Perfect drone use right there.
Yeah,
I'm all for that one.
It's just hilarious.
The most Australian dude ever.
Exactly. Flying down to get a Bunnings snag. That's not a paid promotion, by the way, but do buy them. So it's like, here's the fun of drones being taken away. Oh, no, we've got to have all these rules. Then they're clearly going to start making a lot of money out of this if people have to go and get commercial licenses. But then we're not going to... If we throw on more rules, where is the innovators going to come from? I can't wait for when we start getting drone cars that might fly along the river to take you to work. We're going to get rid of all the traffic issues which we have in Melbourne, which are huge, and we'll start replacing it with drones. But that's not going to happen unless we start relaxing some of these rules and let people play around and innovate.
So not in Australia, but I'm sure it was Amazon in the UK were doing drone deliveries.
I think in the US they're trialling that as well, aren't they?
That's
cool is
awesome.
that?
Yeah.
That is
So
awesome.
cool.
They're just going to drop my package just in front of my
Perfectly
door,
on my
over
porch.
over the fence. It's just there.
And people
I
are
don't
like...
have to go down the post office.
Yeah.
People are saying, it's going to get damaged. Have you seen the way packages get handled by humans?
Yeah.
Like, have you seen what happens?
But wouldn't that be great if you could have... Because then you've got something securely dropped off. They could drop it on the balcony or at the back of my house rather than leaving it at the front door when
But
my bloody neighbours keep stealing stuff.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
We should be encouraging these people.
Yeah, and that's it. It's got a little camera, takes a photo of where it's dropped it, time stamped.
Yeah.
What, they sent it to my phone. I'm like, my makeup's arrived.
Yeah. Perfect.
Exactly.
And I'm wholeheartedly with you. There are so many technologies that we're missing out on not just in drones, but in all sorts of areas, because regulators have decided to set the limits long before the technological limits have ever been discovered. They set the regulatory limits, and people stop exploring.
It just stops creativity and innovation, as you said.
Exactly,
really.
exactly. Be a very boring, backwards place if we keep it up the way we're going. We could do some. There's enough room in this country to have some very liberal drone laws.
Honestly, we should seriously be saying to CASA, hey guys, pull your fingers out. Let's get the entire future flying car / drone industry innovating and developing in the outback.
Totally.
What safer part of the world is there? Let's create some special zone if you really have to, rather than liberalising the rules.
Zone.
Let's just create a zone.
Oh my God, can we have that? Drone zone. That's so cool.
I love it.
And we talk about innovation and agility, and we hear it from the Prime Minister right through sort of all the political ranks. This is a perfect opportunity for that. And what we actually see is the opposite. CASA is shutting down the opportunity for any of that sort of innovation.
Yeah.
Boo.
Yeah.
Boo.
Yeah, definitely. I just think it's a bit overreaching when they're like looking at people's Instagrams or social media and being like, oh, you've flown within 30 metres of someone, $900 fine right there,
but
bam.
also it's something like a 5-kilometre radius, so a huge area, 5-kilometre radius from a airport or helipad. So if you don't have a license, you can't fly in Melbourne. Do you know how many helipads are around?
Yeah.
Like, that's just crazy. There's helipads everywhere.
Yeah.
But then you have enforcement. So CASA had to go through a guy's Instagram to try and enforce this.
I want that job though, just trawling through Instagram.
Just hashtag drones,
Yeah,
just scrolling through all day.
Scrolling through. Yeah.
Oh, he probably gets paid more than all of us, whoever that is.
Shout out to you, best job ever.
Too right.
Yeah.